So you're planning a trip to Japan and you're considering a Japan Rail Pass? I've got you covered. In this video, we'll look at what is a JR Pass, how do you get one, is it worth it for you, how is it used, and alternatives using the regional passes and other forms of transport. I'll also be going over different sample itinerary options for the 7-day and the 14-day passes, so make sure you watch all the way to the end. Consider subscribing to continue the journey, excuse the pun, and never miss another guide or Japan related video. So what is a Japan Rail Pass? A Japan Rail Pass is a special ticket that is only available for overseas visitors, well, usually anyway, and a temporary visitor stamp in their passport is required. It can be used to travel on all major forms of transportation provided by the JR group in Japan. This includes some buses, local trains, express trains, Shinkansen bullet trains, with some of the faster trains requiring an additional ticket, more on that later, and even some JR ferries. Additionally, you'll have access to free seat reservations and discounts at selected tourist spots too. The pass can be used for either 7, 14 or 21 consecutive days and allows for unlimited rides on JR trains available throughout the whole of Japan. It can be bought in two different versions, the ordinary car and the green car version, which is sort of a first class seat, with children aged 6 to 12 paying half the price and infants below the age of 6 travelling for free if they don't occupy a seat. It's also important to note that the JR Pass might not be for every traveller and might not be needed, as this really does depend on the type of trip that you are taking, especially now that the passes have increased in price. It might be cheaper to purchase tickets individually instead of using the pass. There are many types of passes available, and knowing the right one to fit your itinerary and needs will be of great importance. So let's dive in deeper. I'll include prices for some passes as a guide, as the yen can change depending on the exchange rate, and I'll leave a list of websites in the video description so that you can browse and research further if you want to. So how do you purchase a JR Pass? There are two ways to purchase a JR Pass: via a JR reseller or tour operator, or via the official website. When purchasing from your country via an official partner JR reseller, they might offer slightly different rates to the official online website. You'll receive a physical exchange voucher that you need to exchange in Japan for the JR Pass within 3 months of purchase. And once you exchange your pass, you will be able to choose a start date, which can be any date within a month after the exchange is done. With this option, online seat reservations are currently not available, meaning you need to go to the ticket machine or a manned ticket booth to make the reservations or collect your tickets. You can also purchase via the official website, with the pass start date having to be selected up to 1 month before purchase. This option actually gives you access to online seat reservations, which can even be done before arriving in Japan. You'll receive a digital exchange order that is either printed or shown along with your passport at a JR exchange counter within Japan. There are many types of JR passes, including regional passes, but there's one to rule them all, and that's the JR National Pass, which gives you access to the whole country. The National JR Pass is the most expensive pass, with the ordinary pass priced at 50,000 yen for 7 days, 80,000 yen for 14 days, and 100,000 yen for 21-day pass. This pass is recommended only for long distance travel, as it covers the whole country, with the pass even including the Tokyo monorail to and from Haneda Airport and the JR ferry to Miyajima, which now has an additional 100 yen fee payable when you're going to Miyajima. However, due to its price point, this pass might not be an option for casual travelers. The JR Pass gives access to all Shinkansen trains. However, the faster Nozomi and Mizuho trains that are slightly faster and stop at less routes require an additional ticket depending on the distance. For example, a one-way route from Tokyo to Kyoto is around an additional 5,000 yen. However, please note that JR Pass holders have access to all the Shinkansen trains like the Hikari and the Sakura at no additional cost, and do not need to use the slightly faster trains. Is it worth it for you? Well, at this price point, when you look at the 7-day pass, you need to include at least 4 long distance trips to make it worth it, and even then it can be touch and go, which is why I recommend checking against the many price comparison JR Pass calculators to see if the National Pass is the right fit for you. Here are 2 examples of the 7-day JR Ordinary Pass, which costs 50,000 yen across 4 long distance trips: Tokyo to Kyoto, Kyoto to Hiroshima, Hiroshima to Osaka, Osaka to Tokyo. This trip would hit around 50,000 yen mark at the current single Shinkansen prices in individual tickets. However, you need to consider that you need to make long distance trips every other day, and perhaps consider side trips to make it worth your while, which is not great for those who might want to take it easier or explore areas like Kyoto that in my opinion require more than 1 or 2 nights. However, some trips are worth the pass, but there might be cheaper pass options available, as you will see in this example. A trip north from Tokyo to Sendai, Sendai to Hakodate, Hakodate to Morioka, Morioka to Tokyo comes in around 57,000 yen in individual tickets, giving you a saving of around 7,000 yen. But wait, I mentioned regional passes, and this is where research is so important. For example, that same trip can be done using the regional JR East South Hokkaido Pass, which is priced at 35,000 yen and gives you access to the same itinerary but across 6 consecutive days. As for the 14 and 21-day passes, in a similar way, these passes also require a lot of stops to make it worth the while, with around at least 10 long distance trips needed for the 14-day pass to pay off, potentially meaning 10 different hotels in 14 days. This might not be for everyone. What is your opinion? Here is an example of a 14-day itinerary that might just about make it worth the price. Tokyo to Nagano, Nagano to Takayama, Takayama to Matsumoto, Matsumoto to Kyoto, Kyoto to Hiroshima, Hiroshima to Fukuoka, Fukuoka to Nagasaki, Nagasaki to Osaka, Osaka to Tokyo. So, would you do it? So how do you use a JR Pass? It's quite easy. Once you have your physical pass, you can simply insert at an automatic gate, remembering to collect at the other side. And if you have a seat reservation, you'll need this ticket too. Let's look at some popular regional passes and alternatives for travel around Japan. The Tokyo-wide pass. This pass isn't as extensive as some of the others, but as a large number of tourists base themselves in Tokyo, this one is certainly worth a look if you're wanting to take day trips out of the city across 3 consecutive days. Other popular passes include the Hokkaido Rail Pass. As the name states, it's only to be used in Hokkaido, which is Japan's northern island, and can be purchased for 5, 7 or 10-day options. The JR East Tohoku Area Pass. This one will give you 5 days of unlimited travel on trains and access to the Tohoku Shinkansen along the JR East network all the way from Tokyo to Aomori in the north. The JR East Nagano and Niigata Pass. This pass gives 5 consecutive days of access to JR trains, including the Shinkansen, limited express trains, local trains in the greater Tokyo area, Nagano and Niigata prefectures, and in the Shonai region of Yamagata Prefecture. The Hokuriku Arch Pass gives access to Osaka or Kyoto via Kanazawa over a 7-day period. As you can see, there are many JR pass options, and it's important to note that a lot of them do not start in Tokyo or some of the other major city hubs like Osaka or Kyoto, meaning that you will need to make your way there first, which is why hybrid travel might be so important. Consider trying to find a cheap flight to and from one of the regions to not only save on long distance travel, but also make the most of the sometimes cheaper regional passes. If you're wanting to make the most of really long distance travel, traveling to, for example, the very south or the very north of Japan via a one-way flight and then using a JR pass in one direction back to the general Tokyo area, stopping along the way might be a good option too. There are so many more to explore, and hopefully you will now be able to dive deeper yourself, especially if you know your itinerary. And if you think a JR pass is right for you, here are a few additional things that you might want to know. Although seat reservations on the Shinkansen bullet train are generally not mandatory, there are some times throughout the year, for example during busy holiday periods, where seat reservations might be mandatory. I do however recommend that you get a seat reservation. It's included with your JR Pass after all. When traveling with large luggage, some JR Shinkansen trains require a special seat reservation that has a special luggage storage area, and the JR Pass also unlocks special offers at certain tourist sites, so research those too. If you like this type of video, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more guides, travel tips and unique itinerary videos like my multiple Tokyo guides and other city guides too. And if you've watched all the way to the end, then prove it by commenting with a Shinkansen or a train emoji, even if you have nothing to say. Want to make sure you don't get lost in Japan? Consider using my Sakura Mobile affiliate link in the video description or QR code to receive a trusted pocket Wi-Fi or data SIM product that will keep you connected to the internet for checking maps, train times and communicating with loved ones. I'll get a small commission at no additional cost to you, and you will help out the channel. And for more casual Japan content, check out my second channel, The Happy Gaijin. Like I always say, stay positive and be a happy gaijin. Arigatou gozaimasu. Gracias. Thanks. Bye. Safe journeys.